Welcome to a very interesting challenge lock that I got from Lock Noob. Unfortunately, the maker of this lock is unknown, so if you recognize this as your challenge lock, please drop me a note. The bidding is not hidden. We can see that we have quite some high cuts, very short key pins in this lock, and a key goes in a little bit hard, but then lock turns, no problem. Come out. I picked it before a couple of times, and the first time was really hard, and I did take advantage from knowing that we have very short key pins, and after that I hope that I could have developed a feeling for the lock, so I can hopefully show you a picking in a reasonable time. I tension it from the on the open side and use a Peterson DeForest. It's quite an open keyway, so we can pick from this ledge here. The thing with this lock is there is not much feedback. I think we have serrated pins or maybe even counter milling. We will see that later when gutting. So very light tension is required to get any feedback, to get some feedback, and sometimes you have to guess what pin to pick, and of course if you need to guess, it's valuable if you know the bidding. So I still have some feedback, but for example this pin here, maybe it's 3 or so, is very low, it's deep down, and I know that it has to be lifted up because it's a very short key pin, but I would never get this information from the feedback, so I can release tension and still no feedback. So I have to turn back the plug manually, and now I can lift it. That's a very cool challenge lock. I'm very curious to see the kind of modifications and the kind of pins that are put in this lock. Oh, okay, very good. So now I know from previous picking that this state is the state where only the first pin has to be lifted. I hope I can show you the first pin. Let's see. And the first pin has to be lifted very high. So currently it's here. I can move this a little bit like so that you can observe me doing this. Okay. Can you see that? To rotate the plug manually in order to get this pin set. Still not set. I hope I don't mess it up. And yeah, we've got an open. Haha! You really have to know what to do. You have to test all the pins for being required to be picked, because feedback you don't get from that. You have to guess, you have to try and error, and then you will get the lock open sooner or later. And after some iterations of doing this, of course you know what to do, and here we are. After 4 minutes the lock is picked. Alright, so this opens very nicely with a with this thingy here that can be screwed out or screwed off from the cylinder. Then I need a follower. Should be all good. I'm afraid that the pins will get caught, so I will try to shim it. Maybe that's sufficient. Ah, that's a spring from the retaining pin, from the screw, from the back screw. So let's hope for the best. Oh, doesn't move. Why does it not move? What's going on here? It's not moving. It's stuck. Okay, so the plate is off. Let's extract the springs. Very nice steel springs. And that's actually other way around, because I have to stop here. Okay, start with the last chamber. It's a spool. Then we have multiple serrated one. That's a very nice looking Christmas tree pin. Another multi-serrated, very deep serrations, and another different kind of serrated or spoolish serrated. So now plug does turn. I can now slide it through without any issues. We have these construction holes, and we have it only on one side. I see. So one of these pins got caught, and you can see the damage that I caused on this pin when trying to get the plug free. Broken tip. Alright. Standard key pin. I think these are all standard. Oh no, this is pretty cool. Alright, when we look at the plug, we can see threading in number 3 and number 4. 1, 2, and 5 are smooth, and here are the construction holes. It's never a good idea to leave them open when T-pins or so are finding their way into a lock, because they get easily caught, as we have seen. So now to the pinning. Okay, for the key pins we have standard key pins in 1, 2, 4, and 5, and 3 is like a T-pin keypin, very cool. And yeah, the drivers are all kind of serrated, spoolish type, very sharp edge here on the end, so that was the last pin that I picked. And double serrated, very deep, multiple serrated with a broken tip because of the stuck plug. Multiple serrated, less deep, and actually a spool with some sharp parts in the middle. Pretty cool lock that does not reveal much of its date from its feedback. Nonetheless, it was quite a lot of fun to get this lock picked and finally got it. Yeah, thank you very much, Lock Noob, for sending this lock to me, and everybody else. Thank you very much for watching. Happy picking and bye bye.